Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Hopeful Chewbacca back at the Church of Chewbacca. Today we're going to go over the NL East face of the franchise cards that you can unlock in the Team Affinity, and we're going to rate them and rank them 1 through 5. That being said, the 5 teams that comprise of the NL East are the Atlanta Braves, the Miami Marlins, the New York Mets, the Philadelphia Phillies, and the defending World Series champion Washington Nationals. Some of the factors that go into this ranking we're only comparing the 5 face of the franchise cards within the NL East, and the major factors are going to be the player's attributes, their position flexibility, and whether or not they have a glitchy swing or a windup that hides the ball really well or is hard to read. Sometimes windup on certain pitchers can make it hard for batters to hit the ball compared to them maybe having not as strong attributes, as well as a glitchy swing can make a player get a lot of base hits when maybe they don't have the best attributes either. A prime example of that would be Alberto Mondesi. That being said, let's get started and go into this list. So at number 5, we have the starting pitcher from the Philadelphia Phillies, Aaron Nola. He throws 4 pitches. He's a right-handed pitcher. His 4 pitches are four-seam fastball, knuckle curve, changeup, and sinker. He throws the ball 94 miles an hour or so. So at max out, he'll probably max out around 97 miles an hour, probably more towards 96 miles an hour for his fastball. He does have a knuckle curve that only goes the high 70s, low 80s. So he does have a pretty decent change of speed for pitching. His changeup it comes in 84 miles an hour, and he does have a sinker, and obviously sinkers are pretty strong pitches in this game. However, it's his 4th pitch, so I'm going to assume that the attributes for that pitch are not the highest out of his 4 pitches by any means. My biggest reason why I have Nola at 5 rather than higher on this list is it has to do with his windup. It's very easy to read the ball off his hand, and his four-seam fastball itself is very straight. It almost has no movement in it, although his nut curve, changeup, and sinker do have a decent amount of movement and break in them, as you can see with his 93 break rating. I just don't think this card competes very well on the mound, especially for what you're looking for in a starting pitcher. That being said, we'll go over his attributes real quick. He has 94 stamina, which means he actually has pretty decent stamina for a starting pitcher. He'll give you anywhere from like 94, maybe close to 100 pitches before he starts to get really fatigued, and you'd have to go to the bullpen. His per nines are actually pretty good, with 85 hits per 9, 88 K per 9, 70 base on balls per 9, and 75 home runs per 9. So he does have good per 9s, actually very good per 9s compared to most cards. So that does make the card somewhat appealing. However, anytime I face this card, anytime I face even his gold card, I just seem to hit him really well. I don't ever seem to have any issues picking up the ball from his hand. I just think with that being said, and him not really being a burner on the mound, where he's not really throwing the ball 100 miles an hour, I just think he's a pretty easy card to hit against, to be honest. And that's really why I got him in at number 5. We're going to check out his quirks real quick. He does have 5 quirks, as in workhorse, which means he can go in deep into games without losing a lot of energy, so he starts to lose energy at a lower rate when he gets deep into games. Stingy, untouchable, grounded, and knee buckler. The knee buckler kind of goes along with where I said is some of his off-speed stuff does have a lot of movement, and it can make the pitch more effective. He also does have grounded, so he does actually have some good quirks. I just feel like he's not a hard pitcher to hit. And with that being said, that's why he comes in number 5 in this list for the NL East. Coming in at number 4, we have Brian Anderson, the third baseman for the Miami Marlins. His secondary positions are first base, second base, left field, and right field. He's a right-handed bat and throws right-handed. He has gold hitting and diamond defense. For his hitting attributes, he has 82 contact versus righty, 69 contact versus lefty, 69 power versus righty, 74 power versus lefties with 71 vision. Has pretty decent discipline at 78. But as you can see, where this card really shines is his fielding, with the 85 fielding, 88 reaction. So at the hot corners, especially the hot corner at third base, he's going to make a lot of good plays over there. He also has 94 arm strength, so he's just going to have a cannon coming at third base. He's also going to have a good arm for the outfield. Although at 53 speed, I don't know how much of a good outfielder he's going to be. I would assume in the corners of the outfield and left and right field, he might be okay. That being said, I have never played him in the outfield, nor would I ever intend to play him in the outfield, but he can play those as secondary positions, and he does have good fielding and good arm strength. So minus his speed being a little bit slower, he should actually be a good defensive outfielder. With that being said, what I do really like about this card and why he gets the nod at number 4 over Nola is his swing is actually very nice to swing with. I think it's one of the more underrated swings in the game. I don't think a lot of people use his normal card because it's only a silver. However, I do really enjoy his swing on this card, and obviously on a silver card, it's the same swing. He's a pretty glitchy swing for me, and I just really like the way he makes contact with the ball and the way he drives it. He's not going to be the best home run guy, but he is going to get you a lot of gap shots, line drives, and he seems to find a lot of holes through the infield as well when he's hitting. That being said, let's look at his quirks real quick. His quirks are quick reflexes, cannon, and pressure cooker. Obviously, the quick reflexes and cannon tie into the fact that he's a great third baseman and that he might actually be okay in the outfield defensively. The pressure cooker means he's going to perform a little bit better with runners in scoring position. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any other quirks where he has excels at getting base hits or home runs. That's unfortunate for this card. If you would have maybe one or two of those, he might even actually be higher up on this list. But I do think this card is a pretty solid third baseman card for what it is. And that's why Brian Anderson of the Miami Marlins comes in at number 4. So coming in at number 3, I have the right fielder from the New York Mets, Michael Conforto. He also can play left field and center field. I think this card is actually a really, really good card, and I think Michael Conforto has one of the best swings in this video game as well as one of the prettiest swings in real life, and it translates really well to this game. As you can see, his hitting attributes are 82 contact versus righties, 69 contact versus lefties, 95 power versus righties, and 75 contact versus lefties with 65 vision. So he's going to be more of a guy that crushes right-handed pitching and maybe struggles a little bit against left-handed pitching for his 87 overall rating. He is a left-handed bat, and he throws right-handed. So just keep that in mind that he's a left-handed bat. The biggest reason he comes in at number 3 is you'll find out further on the list that there's somebody else that plays in the outfield that's also in this division that is a better card than he is. If that wasn't the case, he'd definitely be higher on this list because I do think that with his swing being so glitchy that he does have a lot of pop. Even when he's facing left-handed pitching, I've hit a few yard with him, and I really enjoy this card in itself. As you can see, he only has silver defense, 69 fielding, 74 arm strength, 84 accuracy, with 71 reaction, and 56 speed. He's not the fastest guy in the outfield. He'll make the routine plays. I don't think he'll make any amazing plays for you out there. However, he's a relatively average outfielder. In the corners, I wouldn't recommend playing him at center field. He just doesn't have the speed to do so. Let's take a quick look at his quirks. His quirks are Bomber, Walker, and Sniper. Bomber, obviously, like I said, he does seem to hit a lot more dingers than his attributes show. And Walker, back to that quirk that I really enjoy, where you're allowed to check swing if you maybe get caught up on a curveball or changeup. I think that's a big difference maker for some of these better hitters. And Sniper is obviously just for accurate throwing arm, but if you're using button accuracy, I don't think that factors in as much as maybe if you're not using button accuracy to play in the field. With all this being said, Michael Conforto, the right fielder for the New York Mets, comes in at number 3. So coming in at number 2, we have Ozzie Albies, the second baseman for the Atlanta Braves. As you can see, he has diamond hitting, and gold defense. He's a switch hitter that throws right-handed, that his secondary position is shortstop. So you can play him at second base or shortstop. I'd recommend playing him at second base just because of his arm strength. As you'll see, it's only a 54. That's not really too strong of an arm to get some of those deep throws in the 6-hole that a shortstop would need to make in this game. Although I don't think the actual aspect of fielding ground balls or line drives or making plays would be a big issue. I just think with his arm strength, he should stay at second base. With that being said, let's take a quick review of his hitting attributes. He has 71 contact versus righties, 114 contact versus lefties, 62 power versus righties, and 83 power versus lefties with 87 vision. With that being said, if he faces lefty on the mound, he is going to absolutely mutilate them and crush them and ball go far. I mean, this card's amazing versus left-handed pitching. I've also had great success with him against right-handed pitching since a lot of the pitchers in the game right now are right-handed. I do think that he plays above his attributes when it comes to him facing right-handed pitching, because he does have one of those butter smooth kind of glitchy swings. So that's his hitting. He's going to give you more production against left-handed pitching than against right-handed pitching. But he's still going to give you good production against that right-handed pitching, especially with 87 vision. Let's move on to his fielding. He has 87 fielding, 54 arm strength, as I mentioned. That's not really where you'd want it to be if you would play him in a secondary position as shortstop. 92 accuracy and 83 reaction with 73 speed. So with him having 73 speed, he's not going to steal a lot of bases. His stealing attribute's not good. However, he will make a lot of plays at second base, deep in the hole. Whether if you're talking about the 4-hole or up the middle, he does get some ground balls that I don't see too many other second basemen getting to. I highly recommend getting him as your second baseman on your team. I think he's valuable, especially being a switch hitter. That being said, let's look at his quirks real quick. His quirks are 20/20 vision, sniper, pressure cooker, and unbreakable. So with the 20/20 vision, that allows him to not miss a lot of balls, so he'll foul off some balls for you. The sniper is the accuracy of the arm. Pressure cooker, better with runners in scoring position. I do think this card is one of the better cards you can get for face of the franchise. That being said, that's why Albies comes in at number 2 on this list. So at number 1, we have Juan Soto, the left fielder for the Washington Nationals, the defending World Series champions. He can also play in a secondary position, center field and right field. He has diamond hitting and bronze defense. However, his hitting attributes very quickly is he has 90 contact versus righty, 88 contact versus lefties with 100 power versus righties, and 77 power versus lefties with 70 vision. Although his vision numbers are at 70, and I understand that's at the little bit lower end of the spectrum for some of the guys that really mash the ball, with his power, if you square a ball up, he's going to probably hit a home run, especially if you get a perfect. On top of that, with his contact, his PCI isn't as small as a typical 70 vision person would have. He also has 116 discipline, which will help with those check swings if you get caught up on a bad pitch. For his fielding, he has 70 fielding, 71 arm strength, 56 accuracy, and 68 reaction with 63 speed. I'd recommend leaving him in left field because he doesn't have the strongest arm in the world. He is a left-handed batter and throws left-handed. So when you're left, so it's going to be lefty versus lefty matchups. And obviously, if you're a right-handed pitcher, he's left-handed batter, so you're going to get that opposite-handed matchup. That's why he sells a little bit more against righties. This card, hitting-wise, is one of the best hitting cards I think you can get in the game right now. He just absolutely mashes the ball. Let's look at some of his quirks real quick. So the quirks he has is hitting machine, bomber, and walker. These are like the 3 best hitting quirks I think you can get. With hitting machine helping with base hits, the bomber helping with home runs, and the walker allowing for those check swings and drawing walks. This card comes in at number 1 on the list because I just think overall he's the best hitter in the division out of these cards, and I think he offers a lot for hitting, and he could be like anywhere from your 3 to your 6 hitter, hits for a lot of power. It's one of the reasons why he's over Michael Conforto at number 3, because him and Conforto both play in the corner positions, and he's just a better hitter than Conforto. Pretty much the only thing I don't like about this card, besides maybe he doesn't have as much speed or as much arm strength as you might want for an outfielder, is this stupid animation they give him whenever he looks at a pitch and he leans his head in all goofy and just stares at you. Like, that's probably the worst thing about this card, to be honest. This card overall is just super amazing, and that's why he comes in at number 1 on the list. With that being said, this is our rankings for 1 through 5 in the NL East. To do a quick recap, at number 5, we have Aaron Nola, the starting pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. He is a 4-pitch pitcher, throws right-handed, puts it about 95 miles an hour with some good pitch speed, changeup, and pretty good per nines. Coming in at number 4, we have Brian Anderson, the third baseman, right-handed batter of the Miami Marlins. Coming in at number 3, we have Michael Conforto of the New York Mets. He plays right field, left-handed batter, hits the ball really well versus righties, has an absolute glitchy swing. If you need a bench bat, I'd highly recommend him for those matchup against a right-handed pitcher. Coming in at number 2 is Ozzie Albies, the second baseman from the Atlanta Braves. Can also play shortstop as a secondary position. He's a switch hitter, has pretty good all-around attributes, definitely crushes left-handed pitching compared to right-handed pitching. And then coming in at number 1, as you guys can see, is we have Juan Soto, the left fielder from the Washington Nationals, left-handed batter, big stick in the lineup, has a great smooth swing. Highly recommend him to get him on your team, whether you're going to put him in the outfield or have him as a bench bat. And that rounds up our list 1 through 5. That being said, guys, I hope you're enjoying the content, and you should hit the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up so I know that I'm doing a good job. And hit the bell as well so that you get notifications whenever I make a new YouTube video. If you guys are enjoying the content and want to watch me live, I am on twitch.tv/HopefulChewbacca Monday through Thursday, 8:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I also stream Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. However, I do not have a set schedule because of things going on in my personal life or extracurricular activities such as slow pitch softball or playing with my dogs or doing something with my family. If you want to know when I do go live Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, follow me on Twitter at Hopeful1137. Also, my PSN, some people have been asking. If you want to send me a message on there, have something to ask me, or you just want to play a friendly, my PSN is Hopeful1137 as well. You can hit me up there with a question anytime you guys want. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. With that being said, guys, I really appreciate you guys watching me, and I really hope you're enjoying the content. You guys have a great day, and be safe.